to Donald Jr. and his agreement to meet to exchange
no,
information about the campaign?
That is how is the term? Let me speak. That is fucking shit. What's the term? Let me check the term.
What's your normal language? How do you say it in your language? Is that you're having trouble translating it right now?
No, I just want to remember the term.
Oh.
Opposition research, right? That's what Hillary did. Other government. They used,
no.
Ukrainian
opposition research. Yeah.
That was actually what they did.
Listen to
collusion
Seth.
with a hostile foreign government.
That is collusion. I mean, the fact is this.
No.
They are trying to explain.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Stop talking over him.
Because you guys had
research. If I go to a reporter, right, and I get information that this reporter has dug up some information and said, hey, there's an Access Hollywood tape about Donald Trump talking about grabbing a woman's pussy. That is classic and totally above board opposition research. What isn't opposition research is a hostile foreign government contacts your campaign and says to meet secretly because we have secret dirt on your opponent. A hostile foreign government.
No.
Illegally obtained dirt, mind you.
I see what you're saying. Well, I don't know if you guys are familiar with...
well, first off, you got to understand. If it was legally obtained dirt, they would have been obligated based on U.S. law to report it.
I mean, Trump didn't want because, Russians interfered.
If it was all above board, why did they continue to lie about it until they were caught?
Well, because of the narrative they're setting, right? They're just trying to make it seem as if you had any contact with the Russians, you're a fucking traitor. So, of course, they are going to be incentivized to lie. But that doesn't mean that they actually colluded. In fact, in my opinion, for instance, they say...
you don't met
with this Russian female, and in order for them to exchange information and so on, and they are suggesting at the same time that Donald Trump is a puppet for a puppet for Putin.
Tasteless.
And
Tasteless. If I was in the same office building as my ex-wife when she was murdered, and I lied about it, would you suspect me more, or would you suspect me less?
Well, it depends on the lie, right? I mean,
I'm telling you the lie. I just told you. I give you an example. I said you asked me. You're a cop. You're a cop. You're investigating my ex-wife's murder.
No, it's not the same.
No,
you're trying to.
Fine, it's disanalogous. But let me make the analogy, and you can tell me where it's disanalogous.
Just please do an analogy that actually is an analogy, because you're trying to equate.
No analogies are perfect.
No, it has nothing to do with the substance of what the analogy is about. If he lied, would you then find his other statements false or suspect?
Make your case.
He's making his case. Shut up a minute.
Here's my case, right?
Sure.
If I was in a building, right, and I had motive and suspicion of killing my ex-wife, and somebody asks me, hey, where were you on the night of July 21st? And I say, oh well, I was at the beach. When actually I was in the office building, the same office. I might not have done the murder, right? I could have just been in that office building. But the fact that I lied about it, you don't know anything about the situation. You're just getting into it. But I was supposed to be at the beach, and you immediately found out I was in the same office building, and I had access to murder her. You don't think that puts more suspicion on me? Why does that put more suspicion on that? Why does that put more suspicion on that individual? But lying about meeting with the Russians is not extra suspicion on the Trump campaign for colluding with Russia.
You're right on your example. However, let me say that you're assuming that a murder was committed. First of all,
incorrect.
We don't know. No. In this case, we don't know if murder actually happened. You are under the impression that there was actually collusion.
That's not the case.
If you can use in your example, the fact that
if you shut up, I'll do it right now.
Seth,
I will. You want me to modify the analogy?
Let me give you my example.
Modify my analogy to make it work, then I will.
If your wife is missing and she doesn't seem to be anywhere, and somebody said, well, this guy killed her, I bet he killed her, And then he had a meeting with a guy that perhaps he was, is related to some dude that she was having an affair with. Well, that could be suspicious, but we don't know if
and what if
she
the
is
guy?
dead.
What if the guy she was
And
having an affair with lied about
we don't know
being
if
with
she
her that
actually
night?
was
No,
murdered.
no, tasteless. But you're leaving out the most important part: is the person that is under suspicion lied about what they were doing, which leads to the implicit guilt that they have, right?
No,
So if your analogy to work, hold on, stop. If your analogy were to work, that the person she's having an affair with had to have been last seen with her and lied about it to the police, would that increase suspicion on him or not?
Yeah, suspicion that
Right, just like it should increase suspicion on the Trump campaign that they lied over and over and over again about.
We don't know if she's murdered. She's
right?
alive or dead. We
It
don't
doesn't
know
matter.
yet.
Tasteless. I already changed the analogy to she's missing, so she don't know who's murdered anymore. The analogy still seems to work.
Of course, I mean that would be suspicious, and that could be, that guy, if he's asked, he's going to be, if they're blaming every conducted under very, very regular terms. If you have a person who's willing to provide you information about your opposition, you're going to take that meeting. It is not something
Incorrect.
illegal.
Just about every Russian.
You're wrong, dude.
No, stop. Republicans were asked about this. Many Republicans were asked about this in meetings in Congress and the Senate, and every single one of them said, no, of course I would not take that meeting. FBI agents, Mueller, Comey were asked, hey, what should happen if a hostile foreign government... Hold on, stop. Hold on, Tasteless, stop, Tasteless. FBI agents were asked what Congress people and Senate and senators should do if approached by a hostile foreign government for to give opposition research. And hold on, no, stop. Let me finish. The answer was they should report. Oh, stop.
Assume that.
Stop. You asked me if I would deny this. I'm telling you what fucking happened because we actually looked into this and we asked people what should be done about this. And government and FBI agents and senators said that if that happens, you should report it to the FBI and or the CIA. It was not reported by the Trump campaign at all.
If they were contacted by a foreign government, if they were contacted by a foreign government.
But they were. We have evidence of it. We have physical evidence of them being contacted. Yes, she was described in the email. She was described in the emails as being a Russian government lawyer. Even if that was false, that was the way she was described to him.
Yeah, she's Russian.
God, who is super Justin?
Now, let me ask you something, Squishy. If Trump was, already in contact with, the Russian government, and they already are, colluding and, shit in order for Trump to win, they sent some nobody to a meeting to have these conversations. I mean, if they are already, in the team and they have like a secret meetings and everything, why would they send a lawyer?
Oh, for the Russian government. Why would they send a nobody?
No. Why would you say it was the government? It wasn't the government, and she wasn't representing the government.
You asked who would, if you're proposing it's true, and then you're working backwards from that.
I am saying if they
shut the fuck
really
up. Let me finish my sentence.
Sure.
You're working backwards from that, saying if they did that, why would they send a low-level person like that? Right? That was your question.
Hmm? Yes.
That was a question.
What was your answer?
My answer? I asked you a question.
Yeah, that was my question.
Then why the fuck did you try to stop?
So much
God
better
damn it.
Retarded.
Explain something, and I'm going to tell you what really happened. They were trying to throw dirt into the Trump campaign, okay? And they sent a person to make contact by the DNC. They I don't know if you know this, but hey, dude, I don't know if you know this, but they actually paid, Obama paid, the DNC paid, Hillary paid to an external firm to contact a Russian agent, a former Russian agent, for him to investigate Trump and to get the dirt on him.
Whoa, stop, Tasteless. No, you need to stop right now.
That was
Tasteless.
Let me end.
No, Tasteless, you have to stop for a second. No, Tasteless, you have to stop for just 1 second.
Do you know these?
You're
okay,
grossly misinformed. No, I know what you're talking about. You're terribly misinformed. Like, you sound like a retard. You're a dumbass. Michael Steele was not a Russian agent. Michael Steele was not even a former Russian agent. He's not Russian in any way, shape, or form. He's an English agent. He worked for the English government, right? They contacted by the way, they didn't contact the Republicans. So this is actual. You look this up. Go look into the Michael Steele dossier and its history.
It is the same. It doesn't matter who did it.
Stop.
It was the DNC, Obama, the Republicans, or whatever.
Whoa! Shut the fuck up. For a second ago, you're saying, "Oh, Hillary, Obama, and the Democrats, they paid a Russian agent to get dirt on Donald Trump." And now suddenly, when I tell you it was actually funded originally by a Republican super PAC,
where it originated from,
is it doesn't fucking matter.
I am giving you the facts.
Fuck you.
Why it doesn't? Because the origin doesn't change the fact that the DNC provided money and that Obama provided money to fund that fucking dossier.
That's originally funded by Republican super PACs.
Originally.
Yes, originally.
Yeah, they're fighting their opposition, who was Trump
and they didn't pay any Russians for the research. Michael Steele is an ex-English.
What? Of course they did. And that's a fact.
No,
I mean,
they didn't. He's not Russian.
This simple
Google it if you don't believe me. Just Google it right now, you idiot.
Right? Dude,
just Google it right now, Tasteless.
I'm trying to that hypothesis.
Tasteless is like the dumbest guy in here.
I don't know why we're arguing with him. I made a mistake. I made a mistake saying a single fucking word to him.
Tasteless, you just began this argument saying, "Oh, Hillary Clinton and Obama paid a Russian agent to get dirt on Donald Trump." When it's exactly the opposite. Republican PACs.
I want you to say it. I mean, if you say they didn't, perhaps we can check it out.
Was it Crossroads GPS? Isn't even who Michael Steele is. They didn't pay Michael Steele. They paid Crossroads GPS for opposition research. Crossroads GPS enlisted the help of Michael Steele. Michael Steele, by the way, thought it was so important, he finished the research pro bono.
Interesting. So they did pay or not?
Yeah, first a Russian super PAC, then Hillary's campaign, and then he finished the research pro bono.
Thank you very much.
But when you say he, if you mean a Russian agent, you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, opposition research. Is there something wrong
I have
with
a fantastic link for you that shows a timeline that confirms collusion based on Papadopoulos' records.
Papadopoulos,
I'm going to send it to you.
Oh, yeah.
Weasel.
Oh, yeah, Mueller has it locked down. It's over for Trump.
Yeah, you're going to love that. It is a Reddit comment, but it has 25 sources on it that you can actually go through yourself. It's fantastic.
Yeah, okay. In the end, I mean, you have your set of information and your beliefs about it.
Yeah, I mean,
I am telling you my opinion, my hypothesis on what really happened and what is happening, and I guess reality is going to prove us wrong or right? So we're not going to achieve, we're not going to reach an agreement on this. I mean, we're just confronting opinions. That's all.
It's we have actual evidence, and you have
I'm just sharing
YouTube
information.
Videos.
It's
not sharing information. I said, your information is as good as a picture of my asshole. That's it.
Okay, that's fair enough. If you don't like it, or if you don't want to take it, that's fine with me.
It's not I don't like it or I don't want to take it. It's just that it's literally
that is actually okay. That's actually your opinion, and that's fine.
No, that's the facts. You have no citations, no actual information.
I'm not saying I'm correct because that information. I'm saying this is the information I have, and then I conclude. That's why I conclude.
And you can't even tell me when the information is in the videos. You're just like, watch the whole video. I'm asking you for a timestamp, and you're like, just watch. I'm starting to think.
Listen to me.
You didn't even watch.
I'm not saying I am
videos.
right because of that information. I am saying this is the information I have. Therefore, I conclude this way. Perhaps I'm wrong, or perhaps I'm right. I don't know. We don't know. I guess when we get more information, the facts.
How can you make those? How can you make those inferences when you so flatly got it wrong on the issue of Michael Steele?
What do you mean?
You were corrected on the story,
Michael. So you're basically saying
that
I'm right. That I'm wrong then.
I'm asking you, no, that's not. I asked you a question. How can you make those inferences when you got it so flatly wrong on the issue of Michael Steele's dossier?
The fact that the guy is Russian, or that guy in particular is
Stop saying Michael Steele is Russian. Are you a moron? He's not Russian.
It doesn't change anything.
Why do you keep saying he's
Russian? Piece of information, it doesn't
because
change
he's dumb, Seth. He's legitimately just mentally inept at knowing anything. Like,
you were
tell him, you correct him. It doesn't matter.
I said,
you were just corrected on this issue with Michael Steele, and then you repeated the falsehood.
I am pretty sure that there was a Russian agent involved. I'm not saying that guy was Russian. I didn't say his name.
You did.
You said a Russian agent was paid by the Hillary campaign and by Obama. You're wrong on every level.
I'm not saying that guy, that Steele guy, was Russian.
Tasteless. Hold on a second. You started this Michael Steele shit by saying that Hillary Clinton and Obama and the DNC paid a Russian agent for opposition research. The only thing close to that fucking story is something not even close to that, right? The DNC didn't. Obama didn't. Hillary at one time did put money into the fund to pay Crossroads GPS, who contracted Michael Steele to get information, who, by the way, is not Russian, to get information about Donald Trump's Moscow trip and among other issues, and his ties to Russian mafia connections and the Russian government. That's what happened. It was originally funded by Republicans. It was then funded by the Hillary campaign. Then he finished it pro bono. You are so far off. Your position on this originally was fucking Hillary and Obama paid a Russian
let me
agent.
Speak, dude. Let me speak. The guy was paid, and some firm got paid to find information. They went to Russia. And about the dossier. The dossier contains information about supposedly the Kremlin, having tapes and information on Trump. That information came from a Russian agent, supposedly. Okay, and that's what I meant. I'm not saying was Russian and that Steele was Russian. I'm saying they paid a firm for them to create a dossier which contained information provided by a Russian agent. Yes.
Right. So basically what you're saying is,
that's what I'm saying.
That information was provided by MI6, not a Russian agent.
What?
What he's saying isn't even sinister to begin with anyways. I mean, what he's basically saying is, well, the Republicans paid an English agent to go talk to some bad guys and get information about Donald Trump. Okay.
Okay.
How is that supposed to be sinister?
How is not that collusion from Hillary's side?
How would that be collusion with the Russian government? They didn't get information or give information to the Russian government.
Dude, that's the exact thing you are accusing the Trump team of doing.
No. See, the difference.
With a lawyer.
Hold on. No, Tasteless. No, Tasteless.
What the fuck out of here, dude? That is exactly what
stop
they did.
Talking over him so you can get your shit corrected.
Give me your
Tasteless. These are the two implications as I understand them, giving you the benefit of the doubt here, right? The benefit of the doubt is you're accusing the DNC of paying an English agent to go to Russia and talk to some Russian agents to get dirt on Donald Trump, right? Paying English agents, right? A friendly foreign government, not even talking to the government, we're talking about a retired English agent, a private citizen, to go get opposition research in a hostile territory, right? Russia.
First off, this isn't even about this isn't even about opposition research. The meeting was about the Magnitsky Act. It had nothing to do with foreign information.
We're talking about the dossier right now, the PIS dossier.
I was talking about the meeting.
Right. And and then on the other side of the coin, we're talking about the Russian government in an attempt to get Donald Trump elected in this country, right, which is meddling in a sovereign U.S. election. The Russian government has a stated open, implicit intention to get Donald Trump elected and was going to give us dirt from the Russian government. The Russian government says, we want Trump. Here's information to help get him elected.
What is your evidence to support that claim? I mean, I know that's a hypothesis. That
No. I'm not even supporting that right now.
Hypothesis.
Tasteless.
But I want to know what makes you think.
No, you fundamentally don't understand what I'm saying. You need to stop. I'm not presenting that as what happened. I'm not even presenting that as what happened. I'm just responding right now to you saying, how are those two things different? And I just outlined them for you. One is collusion with a hostile foreign government, and the other one is not.
The ones I provided are facts, and the ones that you are provided are hypotheses. That's all. And the facts.
No, Tasteless, you moron. You asked me how one is collusion and the other is not. And I'm outlining how one is collusion and one is not.
They paid a dude to get information in order for them to, affect the election. They did that. And Obama did that as president of the United States.
No, stop right there. Tasteless, exactly. They did. The Democratic Party wanted to influence the election. Duh, they're the fucking Democratic Party. Just like the Republicans are trying to influence the election. They want to get their people elected. It's not against the law for fucking... No, hold on a second. You moron, stop. No, this is how stupid you are. Your fucking argument is the DNC tried to get Hillary elected. Well, fucking duh.
Your fucking argument is that the Trump team wanted to get Trump elected. Fucking argument. I don't know why. Use different standard when it comes to the DNC. When it comes, hey, you don't have any facts.
You just accused
doing
Hillary Clinton of trying to win the election on purpose.
Them of collusion, my man. That's fucked up. That's ridiculous. You have standards to judge what happened in the Trump campaign.
Tasteless. You must be the dumbest motherfucker around. Perhaps. You just said that I have two different standards because on one case, I'm not mad at the Hillary Clinton campaign for doing what they can. You just accused, seriously, you just accused the Democratic Party of trying to get Hillary Clinton elected on purpose. Your whole argument is, well, the DNC tried to get Hillary elected. They tried to get opposite. Hold on, stop talking. Stop. You're saying the Democratic Party got information against Donald Trump to get Hillary elected. And that's as bad as Donald Trump shaking hands with a hostile foreign government. This would be like Winston Churchill.
You are saying that is bad.
This would be. Hold on. Yes.
I said that was opposition research, and you said no. That's collusion.
Tasteless. Stop. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, but Tasteless is right in this argument.
He's so not. This would be like Winston Churchill running for an election in England, right? While getting opposition research and working under the table with Hitler, right? These are the bad guys. This is not a friendly government to the United States. These people aren't working together for the greater good. A hostile foreign government wanted Trump elected.
You can repeat yourself for the next hour. You'll still be an idiot. The two things that you're saying are retarded.
That's a really good point. Do you have an argument?
If collusion happened between Donald Trump and Russia, collusion happened between Hillary Clinton's campaign and Russia. If your definition of collusion is collusion, then they both did the same thing.
No, my definition of collusion is not collusion. I wouldn't be dumb enough to use the word in the definition.
I don't care what your definition is. You're a fucking idiot.
Well, then obviously we can't have a conversation.
And if it is opposition research, then it's opposition research on both sides.
No, I already made it really clear that my definition of collusion is not opposition research. I think opposition research is fine. Opposition research in cooperation with the hostile foreign government is not.
And both of the parties have done that. So both.
How did Hillary Clinton do that? Again, where's your?
Because the DNC paid an agent to go to Russia to get information. That's collusion.
How is that collusion
with Russia? The Trump campaign was approached by different people.
How is paying an agent to go to Russia collusion of them for evidence of them colluding with the Russian government? Are you saying
the English? Are you saying that Hillary Clinton?
The same logic.
They paid to create a false dossier in order for them to hit Trump and to make the FBI search for more dirt into that campaign and the management of the people around it, so they can have a reason to harass him any facts in order that pointed to collusion. And
where's the collusion of them? Where's the evidence of them colluding with the Russian government? I don't see it.
You fucking sluts.
Fucking idiot.
I'm going to explain this to Squishy in some kind
let's
of
be honest. We're not going to agree, Seth. But I respect your opinion.
That's fine. Hey, Tasteless, I'm trying to explain something to Squishy, okay? Thanks. This would be like, as a stockholder in AMD, right? And some other. Oh, this is going to get complicated.
Because your example is unworkable.
Oh, I assure you, it's not unworkable.
No, believe me. Listen, I understand what's going on here. Like, I think it's a little ridiculous that they're trying to conflate the two.
Two things are fucking identical.
No, not at all.
Oh, really? It is identical. So you're telling me that Hillary Clinton was helped by a hostile foreign government to get elected because they wanted her to get elected? Which foreign government was that? Russia? Because Russia was in the pocket of Donald Trump, as said so in a letter to Trump Jr.
Yeah.
Trump won fair and square. He didn't have help from the Russian.
No,
as a matter of fact, Hillary
if he lost the popular vote, he
from everybody, and she still lost.
What do you mean if he lost the popular vote, he wouldn't be president? Caleb, do you know how U.S. elections work?
The game was being played.
Wait, shut up, Tasteless. Shut up. Caleb, do you understand how U.S. elections work? Shut up, Tasteless.
Understand how U.S. elections work.
I don't think you do.
For my sins, yes, sadly I do.
Because you said that if he lost the popular vote, he wouldn't be president.
I don't care what you've got to say.
Yeah, then why are you talking to me?
Woman.
Oh, this is the famous Caleb. Oh, goody.
Why are you responding to me, Caleb, if I'm a stupid woman?
The fucking conversation come dumpster.
Why are you responding to me, Caleb?
Everybody.
Why do I trigger you so much, Caleb?
Caleb, what did you mean when you said that Donald Trump wouldn't have won if he didn't win the popular vote, though? Because that is not how it works in the United States.
He won the popular vote. He won the election. And now you liberal morons.
But he didn't. He actually lost the popular vote by 3 million votes.
He did won the popular vote. If you take into account, that all the fake voted, all the fake.
There's absolutely zero evidence of that.
Oh yes, there is.
There's zero evidence of half the things you've said.
I can prove to you that there was tons.
Really can't.
Especially in California.
It would actually small amounts of. If he would have lost. I might drop. Hold on, Tasteless, shut up for a second. I might totally believe you if he lost the popular vote by like the same amount as say Bush lost the popular vote to Al Gore, right? That was a small margin. I can accept that amount of fake votes, but 3 million? There's not a chance. You have no idea how many people that is. That's insane.
All the legal people living in California, they voted.
Oh my god.
And you know how they did that?
I would like to know how they did that.
Wait, Seth, don't ask him how. He's just going to send you a 4-hour YouTube video.
By just having a driver's license.
Incorrect.
No, that's not how you vote. Yeah, I really think it's hilarious how people who aren't in the United States tell us how
let me just explain. No, Tasteless, stop for a second.
I'm going to grant you that he lost.
Stop.
The popular vote.
I just need to explain something. That's fine, Tasteless. You're mad, but I'm going to explain something. Okay? So here's how voter fraud works in this country. Okay? There's basically kind of 2 ways you can do it, maybe 3. Okay? The one way you can do it is you can be like super rich, all right, and you own one house in one state and then one house in the other state, and depending on which state you want to vote in, you just live in that house now, right? That's one way you can do voter fraud. That's how Ivana Trump voted fraudulently in the election, which she did do. Right. On the other hand, there's another way you could fake vote. You could fake a vote. You can go to a polling place, say you're somebody you're not, right? And then that person's marked off of their polling place, and then you take their vote. But if they show up for the vote, right, and they find out somebody voted in your place, there's an investigation. You're saying that happened 3 million times. That is insane.
I'm not saying that is.
We'd have crazy evidence for that. You don't understand. If that was even remotely true, there would be so much evidence.
My country is far more advanced in electoral systems.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, maybe, but that's exactly my point. Is in the United States,
we know how
our election system
is done.
Is archaic.
We know the vulnerability of your system.
It doesn't.
And the vulnerability of
can't
your
really
system
work the way it can in other places. It's not even electronic in most places. Where I voted, it was a paper ballot.
You don't even know what the system is, and you're talking about its vulnerabilities. This is hilarious.
I
Keep
know
going.
exactly.
Keep going, dude.
Now,
He's
for
so
instance,
triggered right now.
You can register. You can
hold on a second. Hold on. No. Hold on. This is beautiful. Tasteless. Now you're saying that our system is vulnerable to electronic manipulation? This is a complete 180 from your last.
He didn't say that.
You can vote via vote. You can send your vote in.
I can send my vote in how?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Trump only won the popular election because of voter fraud on Trump's side.
Okay, forget it. We could go hours on this subject, and it can be done, and it was done.
I'm sure, if you want to retreat, you could just pretend like you were always right.
I'm going to concede that Trump lost the popular vote, but I'm going to also quote Scott Adams on this matter when he said that Trump won the only game that was being played, and that is that the elections in the United States are determined by the Electoral College. And the popular vote is irrelevant. So if she didn't do what it was needed for her to win the Electoral College, then that's all that matters. Trump played and won. The only game was being played.
Well, I heard you the first time. He won the game that was played, and he's legitimately the president. Tasteless. I'm agreeing with you. Tasteless. Take a breath. Okay. You're right. He's the president. Nobody's denying that. We're just making, I'm the one who brought it up. I'm just making a specific point, and it isn't irrelevant, because when people say, hey, like, this is something I heard a lot right after the election. Hey, you snowflakes are just mad. The people got the people decided, right? The people decided. Well, that is a very weird thing to say when 3 million more people voted for the other guy.
Yeah, all of them in California. So that is,
and New York, and regardless of 3 million more people.
No. The majority of the people.
Trump lost in New York worse than he did in California.
Trump it's in California, and it's only
it's not. Go look at the fucking polls. He got trounced in New York.
The system you are under your country is run under that system.
I'm not talking about the system, you retard. You said she only won 3 million more votes because of California, and that's just not the case. She also won big compared to him in places like New York, and that's really bad because Trump should have won his home state.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. However, it doesn't matter. I mean, in California there was a lot of voter suppression. Of course, you know that.
Are you insane? What suppression was there in California? You were
suppression by the people, of course. People got beaten up if they showed any support for Trump.
Now you're just making
things up.
I don't think you have the information then.
You're making show us more YouTube videos, please.
This is what you amount to, is just making shit up.
Video evidence is fucking hard.
Lying
I mean, I know Squishy that you prefer data and you prefer guys.
I prefer data. Yes, I prefer actual hard facts. I'm so sorry.
I hate to break this to you, man, but I live in California.
The fact is so weak that it doesn't have a chance against evidence, actual evidence.
Tasteless. You are so fucking misinformed. California is a liberal state. Liberal states really do not try to suppress the vote at all, because I don't know about how this works out in other countries, but in the United States, better turnout, more turnout tends to favor liberals. So because California is a liberal state with liberal Democratic representatives, California tries to get as many people to vote as possible. They just try to get everyone to vote. As a matter of fact, there was a bill, I don't remember if it actually passed or not, but everyone who turns 18 automatically registered to vote. You have to ask to not be registered to vote. California just wants everyone to vote. And that's what you see when you go to polling places. Lots of polls, short lines, and in most places in California, in most districts, in almost every district, including my district, you can mail in your fucking ballot. Voter suppression? You got to be fucking kidding me.
Yeah. there's the video, and Squishy facts. They are never going to compete with evidence. So facts is as good as saying somebody else said so. So that's not good enough in my opinion.
Tasteless is an idiot.
Right there,
just a fucking retard.
So you can see for yourself, and that's evidence. And if you rather, rely yourself on written text and an opinion, or a dude saying that the research has been done and whatever, when you actually prefer to read that to form your opinion, that's your problem.
A basic understanding of how voter fraud works.
That shit.
No, tasteless.
With my eyes.
A basic understanding of how
an opinion
works.
Rather than have a guy stating his opinion and
tasteless.
A basic
understanding. Tasteless. A basic understanding of how voter fraud works, and the understanding that you can't do that 3 million times in this country without it being terribly and obviously noticed.
No, you're not fully informed on how all the ways people can vote.
Hold on a second, Tasteless. Let me finish my fucking point.
Your own fucking
That is much better than some YouTube video of somebody claiming somebody's beat up at a polling place one time.
You should
talk about anecdotal.
How your voting, your electoral system works in the United States. You need to get some information on it.
I voted in my country. Did you?
That you voted is not the only way that you can vote in your country.
Did you register?
There are plenty options.
You were fucking confused, dude. You were thinking.
I just told you of some.
You literally told us that people were voting in California based on a driver's license alone. That tells us how much you know about our electoral process.
Not based alone, but I'm saying that is one way that a person
you said that they get a driver's license
the United
and then
States
they vote. That's what you said.
Could actually vote like and influence your fucking election.
And that you literally said that, Tasteless. You literally said that by driver's license alone.
I am saying that. I am saying that many people living in the United States can actually vote.
I didn't even realize how stupid that was. Hold on.
Your system
tasteless,
is not
tasteless. Let me tell you how dumb you are. You don't need it. You don't need a driver's license to vote at all, or any ID.
I'm not saying you need it. I'm saying
you did. You said you just take a driver's license and you vote.
Let's say, Seth, are you saying then that a person who is illegal in the United States could not vote in fucking chance?
I'm going to answer your question, and I'm going to ask a question, and I expect it to be answered.
Yeah. I just want an answer, dude.
An illegal person.
You're saying that a person living in the United States that is illegal is not able to vote by any means.
Are you going to ask me a third time?
No, I'm asking you. I want you
to... Go ahead and ask me again. Ask me again. I didn't hear you the second time either. Go ahead. Ask me again. No, I'm serious. Ask me a third time. I'm going to make you ask me a third time.
I am asking you, dude. Seth,
ask me again.
In the United States, who is illegal, be able to vote in any way?
Yes. The problem is you can't do that in mass. And I'll tell you why. Actually, I already told you why. I already told you why, Tasteless. What did I tell you? What did I tell you 5 minutes ago when I said,
Seth, let me ask you something, dude. Let me ask you something. If you have a government in power, say Obama, and Obama is actually very, very fucking interested in getting his candidate elected, okay?
Obama's telling me,
yeah, I know. Are you telling me that Obama is not going to do
anything? I'm not sure if you know, I mean,
the federal government is going to fucking do whatever it fucking can in order for them to elect their fucking
so now you're talking about two different things here, Tasteless.
So that's what I'm saying is it is possible. It is not only possible.
Tasteless, stop.
The most
Tasteless. Hey, Tasteless. Relax a second.
It was not like
pick one of these points. Let's talk about one of these points because it's not both. These two things don't work in tandem. Okay, you're saying that illegals went to polling places and voted, right? And they weren't supposed to vote. Those are illegal votes. And then you're saying that the government is doing whatever they can to get Hillary Clinton elected. I'm going to assume you're implying that the Obama administration would fake the election to get Hillary Clinton elected. There's
of course
huge fucking problem. Hold on, stop. There's huge problems with this. Number one, then why the fuck didn't Hillary win, you retard? Number two,
because on the rest of the country,
number two,
it was
number two, right? Mm-hmm. That doesn't work in conjunction with illegal immigrants going to a polling place, saying they're somebody else, and taking their vote.
Please. Let me hit, Control Z then here, and let me answer you. Because there are not enough illegals in other states for them to, massively. And that is why the DNC is way too interested in getting more immigrants into the United States, knowing that they're the source of the fucking power. They are the source of their fucking power.
There's not enough illegals in Texas to flip Texas?
I don't know. Are there?
Are you sure about that? There's not enough illegals in Florida to flip Florida? Wait a minute. You tell me. This is how ignorant you are of U.S. politics. You don't even know the terrible argument you're making. Florida is a notorious flip state, right? Florida goes both ways. It's a fucking slut, okay? As a matter of fact, the whole, for fucking 4 months in 2000, we didn't know who the president was because there was hanging chads in Florida. Because we didn't know if it went to Bush or Gore, right? It was a big fucking deal, okay? You're telling me Florida went red this election. You're telling me that there wasn't enough illegal or minority voters in Florida to flip it to Hillary. Are you really telling me that?
Yeah, I'm telling you that. And I have a question. You are in California.
Damn it, that's stupid. There's enough Californian immigrants to flip the election, but not enough Floridians.
California. What was the result in California? Well, 50-50?
50-50 what? You think? No, not even close.
Of course. Well, thank you very much. Did she won,
Basically, any state that had a major city where people weren't fucking retards, won by a landslide.
How many votes were, Hillary had more?
Hey, Tate, can I ask you a question?
Millions.
Sure. No, Justin, I don't talk to you.
I want to ask you a question, Tasteless.
I decline.
Well, I want to hear the question anyway.
Yeah, I want to hear the question.
Tasteless, why are you so fucking stupid?
Yeah, that's a good question.
What's wrong with you?
I'm sorry, Justin. I was just imitating you from before. I don't back down. I don't know. That's your opinion. I respect that. Seth, please tell me. How many votes did she have more than Trump?
Like how he said he never backs down and then didn't answer the question.
Millions.
What an idiot.
Millions. How many?
No, I'd have to look it up again. No, not 3 million.
Not 2 million. Okay.
No, of course not.
Well, whatever. We're not discussing whether.
As a matter of fact,
I'm not saying. To me, it is irrelevant.
I'm going to take a guess. I haven't looked it up, but if I remember correctly, it was 1.5 million.
Really? Believe it. Let me check.
Tasteless is on the job, everybody. We'll get our facts soon.
He's going to post a beautiful YouTube video.
4 hours long without a timestamp.
Mm-hmm.
He really is retarded, though. There will be no resolution to this conversation.
What? 4 minutes? Whoa! That's fucking. You know what? This is so good. I'm going.
Can we not listen to your internal dialogue, or can you just
Yeah, sure. I'm going to.
Thank you. Shut up too.
So, Justin, what was your question, dude?
Oh, why are you an idiot?
Oh man, I was way off. It was by more than 4 million votes.
Justin, that's your answer.
Wait, Seth, what are we talking about?
Oh, how much Hillary won the election by in California? I was way off. It was.
Oh yeah, after the ballots came in, the late ballots, yeah, it went up by another 1.7, I think. So it was initially 3.2, and I think it turned out to be 4.1 at the end.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, there's just not that many illegal immigrants in California. There's just not.
Oh, in California alone?
Me, dude?
I don't think so.
I don't know. Let's look at the
why are you so against, video evidence? What's your problem with video
evidence? It's not video evidence. There's no video evidence. There's no video evidence. Your evidence is literally a dude talking into the camera for 20 minutes to 4 hours.
No. That's your false assumption.
Hold on, Tasteless.
That's what you posted me. That's not a false assumption. I'm talking about the videos that you sent me, Tasteless.
Yeah. Tasteless. Is your video evidence that of voter suppression in California? Tasteless. Was that your video evidence, voter suppression in California?
What? Yeah, that's some evidence, yes.
Then you're an idiot. Tasteless, Tasteless, hold on. Tasteless, I need to know if you know this. Tasteless, hold on. Tasteless, I need to know you know this.
Okay.
Which of these two outcomes are better for the liberals in the United States? Low voter turnout or high voter turnout?
I guess low.
No, you're dumb.
High voter turnout.
High
voter turnout tends to benefit liberals.
Oh, fuck, bro.
So why would California, a liberal state, suppress the votes?
No. Trump vote, not the votes. Trump vote.
How do you suppress the Trump vote, not the Hillary vote?
By fucking peer pressure, by bidding guys who wear MAGA hats, not being violent in the in the streets. And
you're telling me a bunch of left-wing SJW snowflakes got all bulked up and said, "Fuck you, you MAGA faggot."
There you go, buddy. There you go, buddy. We have like 5. What? How many million was it? Like 3.
Is that what you won California with?
Yeah.
Then why does wait a second. Are you saying
very much
4 million of those vote 4.3 million votes are illegal?
And the only evidence he has of this
is for only California. First off, that's the dumbest campaign I've ever heard of in my fucking life. If you think that Obama convinced illegal people to vote against their own, not even just against their own interests, in fear of being sent back to wherever they're from under felony charges, he convinced 4.3 million people in a single state to vote for Hillary Clinton. And somehow that makes sense, even though you don't just need one fucking retarded state to win the election.
That's another thing. You're talking about illegal immigrants who are afraid of being deported, coming up and knowingly telling a government agency that they're illegal so they can illegally vote in an election, which by the way, would get them sent back to where they came from.
But I guess you're forgetting the liberal narrative that Donald Trump had zero chance to win.
What the fuck are you
if you would have asked me,
what am I talking about?
Not a single poll has said that. Not a single poll. After no, listen. After the email, what the?
Okay, I'm going to show you another fucking video showing the evidence.
Not a poll after the email dropped the Friday prior to the election. Not even the Friday 2 weeks prior to the election when the email bomb dropped. Not a single poll had Hillary winning by a landslide. Not a single fucking poll. And if you can bring one up, I'd like to see you.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, so there were a lot of liberal. Hold on, Tasteless. There were a lot of libs. There were a lot of libs just totally ready for a Hillary election victory, right? But if you looked at the polls closely, if you were somebody who actually was worried about the election and watched the polls and went to dedicated, really interesting, like statistic wonks, like 238,
538.
538. Sorry, 538. You would have saw that Donald Trump had the morning of like a 1 in 3 chance of winning, which is not zero, not even close to zero. It's a pretty good chance.
Fantastic odds, actually.
Okay. I'm going to show you the video.
The odds I put some money on, to be honest.
Watch it, okay?
Also, it's worse than that because it was so precarious because Hillary was winning by a lot of states, right? So many states were blue, right? The morning of, right? They estimated what the election results were going to be. The problem was if you actually looked at which way by how much she was ahead by in each state, it was almost always within the margin of error. She was ahead by like 2 points, 1 point. It was such a it looked so. I mean, at first glance, if you're just like the HuffPo or TYT and you just want to see what you want to see, yeah, it looks like a landslide for Hillary all the way. But if you actually looked at the numbers at all and were skeptical and actually were interested in the prospect, you knew that Donald Trump, the morning of, had a 1-3 chance, maybe better, because the wind was also at his back.
Oh, fuck.
Well, he completely dominated social media. I mean, if you looked at social media, it was completely Trump.
Yeah, Russia helped with that.
Yeah, Facebook just
So I mean,
that
this isn't even anything. Yeah, this isn't anything you could really argue about, right? We know for a fact that Russian troll farms were upvoting certain like Trump posts, and that there was millions of dollars of Facebook ads taken out.
Russian emails paid for.
They're paid in fucking rubles.
They didn't even change the currency.
I want to know why the Russians supported Trump and not Hillary. If you look into it,
Hillary Hillary wasn't going to overturn the Magnitsky Act. 100%. Trump had a chance to doing that, and that directly affected the Putin regime. 100%.
Also, global instability is good for the Putin regime, and Donald Trump is really good for global instability.
Absolutely massive red pill. Just look into what Clinton and Podesta.
No, listen, I don't give a fuck.
You
have to listen. You have to listen to the fact that the Magnitsky Act has been Putin's #1 fucking thing to get overturned. It directly affects his friends, his oligarchy, his income. He's the richest man on the fucking planet, and that is the one piece of legislation that we have passed that has directly injured him. That is it. Not a single thing that we've passed against Russia itself has done damage to the Putin regime. Only the Magnitsky Act, and that has been his #1 fucking cause to get, or #1 reason to have Trump elected, because he knew that he was going to be sympathetic to having it overturned.
Which is exactly what Mueller is attempting to prove in the investigation. Mueller has been all over the Magnitsky Act, and Donald Trump's supposed, at least attempted, supposed agreeableness to revoke it if he got help with opposition research in the election. And that is trading a valuable commodity for opposition research, which is actually illegal.
Oh.
I mean, it was the whole reason why Kushner and Manafort and Flynn interviewed with the Russian lawyer, because she mentioned having the adoptions overturned, the adoption sanctions, which is a euphemism for the Magnitsky Act.
Okay,
and it's the same reason they lied about it.
Yeah, exactly.
That I am already out of cum. That's about it.
What? So you've been trolling this whole time?
I'm saying that I am out of cum. That's all.
I'm not getting your reference here.
I'm saying I did came in both your faces, and so.
Oh fuck!
Oh my god!
I warned you guys not to talk to him.
I made a mistake.
I regret. No, what I'm saying is we're not going to reach an agreement, and I provided you with some information as to why.
You didn't provide us with any information.
I'm not saying.
You provided us with bad arguments about a fucking election system you don't even understand.
I gave you the information, Squishy, and I provided you.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
If you don't want to look at it,
Tasteless.
That's the problem.
Tasteless. Hold on. Tasteless.
You didn't do anything.
Tasteless.
I did.
You looked like an idiot this whole time.
Yeah,
Tasteless.
I mean, there's a reason why this whole room thinks you're a fucking retard right now.
Hold on a second, Squishy. Tasteless. This is what happened 5 minutes ago, Tasteless.
Okay.
You claimed the liberals in California made a
Forget it, Seth. It's
Seth,
over.
He claimed Michael Steele was Russian. Can we just leave it at that?
Yeah, let's leave it at that.
You said you needed a driver's license in order to vote in America. Can we leave it at that? Come on, we can pull up a million of his other false statements.
The liberal California government,
the
liberal California government tried to suppress the vote in order to get the liberal to win, which is just fucking absurd.
Do you feel, happy with the result of, our exchange?
No, I feel like I wasted my time talking to a fucking idiot.
But if you win, I mean, you won,
There's
right?
no winning when you're talking to someone who's mentally incapable of understanding your argument. You are incapable of it because you're so you're so fucking stupid that you just cannot listen and understand. That's the problem.
Okay. I respect that, dude.
Good.
What about you, Seth?
What about me?
I don't know. What about you? You happy with the result of our exchange? I mean, we both made our cases, and that's why I feel.
No, I would be happy if I got to engage with an honest interlocutor.
What is your problem? I am accepting,
What do you mean, what is my problem? I just told you. What did I just say?
Okay, dude.
He says he's honest, but he lied to me.
No, Tasteless, that was a question. What did I just say?
Of you
Tasteless, that was a question. What did I just say?
Said.
I don't ask rhetorical questions, Tasteless. I mean, maybe sometimes, but not this time.
I don't know.
What did I just ask you?
I don't know.
You asked me what my problem was, and I said I wanted to speak to an honest and earnest interlocutor, and I didn't get that. That's how I feel about this conversation.
I feel sad that you feel that way.
Well, you told him you came on his face.
So we went from Flynn pled guilty to the FBI for lying to the FBI, right? And we ended on Tasteless is a fucking retard. That's how this entire conversation just led up to.
Yeah, there's a common conclusion.
That Tasteless is an idiot?
Yes.
Okay.
False.
Tasteless. How many states are there?
52.
Close
Wait,
enough.
What? Did he just say 32?
Yeah, he said 50. He said 52.
No, he said 52. Okay, I'm sorry. Wait,
but I guess it's 51, right?
No!
No.
It's 50!
Are you kidding me? Are you not counting, as the I think it's Puerto Rico or something?
No, because it's not a state, you idiot! Jesus Christ!
Puerto Rico's a territory.
Puerto Rico's a territory. We have.
And so is, by the way.
Actually, do we have
what
16?
The fuck? Every state is a territory, you dumb fuck.
No, it's not. No, you're so dumb.
You don't know what a state is, right?
Oh my god.
That's so sad.
You're so dumb.
Which, by the way, so are the U.S. Virgin Islands, and Donald Trump said he talked to the president.
So I assume everyone here voted for Hillary. Is that right?
Yeah, we have 16 U.S. territories. I was right.
I can't speak for everyone, but I voted for Hillary. Why do you ask?
I did.
Hey, fat girl. What does that say? 51 or 52 United States Mandela effect?
Are you dumb?
I don't see
fat girl.
Oh my god. Wait, oh my god, you're so dumb. We have 50 U.S. states.
No, he's not wrong and he's not dumb. This is just the Mandela effect. That's why he was wrong. He's really smart.
What's the Mandela effect? Is it an effect that lets dumb people think that they're smart?
Pretty much, yeah. Yes. You never heard of the Mandela effect?
Oh, I've heard it called the alternate memory or alternate reality thing, where it's like the bears thing it starts at. Yeah, I know this. Yeah, you've done too many drugs, Tasteless.
So
like
somebody
you're
asked
so
me if I voted for Hillary.
that you think that there's another reality. That's
Seth, I was wondering, why did you ask me that question, dude?
What question?
How many states?
Oh, I was just curious if you knew. Just morbid curiosity.
Right.
Hey, Tasteless, where are you from?
Krypton.
Russia.
From Russia. From China. I'm from Mexico.
Nobody believes you.
Pero por qué no?
Because you're a lying sack of shit.
I never lie.
I just want to know where they have such a shitty fucking education system.
I was thinking the same thing.
Right?
That's Sweetie.
He must be American.
True story.
Speak Mexican to Squishy if you're really Mexican.
Oh, good, because I'm not Mexican.
Quiero un taco.
Bacon.
Yeah, what's
Speak
up?
American to me.
No.
Talk American
Well,
to me.
Squishy said that she's Mexican yesterday, unless she's just kidding.
I'm not Mexican, you fuck.
Okay, you're just joking. Sorry.
I never said Mexican. It's Puerto Rican.
Oh, Puerto Rican. I got a bad memory. I've done a lot of drugs and been in a lot of fights.
So I just there's a problem again, Tasteless. I don't think you understand. I just have to kind of reiterate.
Sure.
The misunderstanding you have about voting. So we have to register, and when we register, right, you go to a certain, at least if you don't vote by mail, you go to a certain polling place, and if you go to that polling place and sorry, my Bluetooth connection just turned off and came back. Anyways, so if you're planning a massive like voter fraud, you can't do it in the way that conservatives, Trump, and you were saying happened, right? You can't get a bunch of illegal immigrants or any single group of people to go vote instead of you, because now you're in a situation where if I show up to vote after you already replaced my vote, well, we know there's a problem. That would get reported. That would go on YouTube. There'd be a huge problem. There'd be millions of people, at least a million people, who are looking to find out what happened to their vote and who voted in their place. You're telling me that at least 3 million more people, probably upwards of close to something like 10, 12 million people, voted in somebody else's place at a polling place. Somebody else couldn't vote because of it, and that got swept under the rug. Those are, by the way, those are all Trump. 12 million Trump voters were disenfranchised, and none of them reported it.
Unless they were dead.
All right, unless they were dead. But that would be, I mean, that would be something really easy to find out, right? Registering dead people is the.
Are you aware that the DNC committed fraud?
There's that many.
No, Seth, they killed them all, so that's why the 12 million.
Yes, let's make this even more absurd.
They didn't have to kill anyone.
That's fucking hilarious.
Oh, that actually fraud.
See, it's the only way to argue against Tasteless. You just have to make a more absurd claim.
When Hillary,
Tasteless. I mean, seriously though, Tasteless, how do you avoid this problem with your
what problem, dude?
What do you mean, what problem?
I am asking
Tasteless,
you.
hold on. Tasteless.
You're providing me with a hypothetical.
Tasteless. This is not a hypothetical. This is your position. This is how you say the voting fraud went. Then this is a problem with it. This isn't a hypothetical problem. This is an actual problem. How do you stop people going to vote at the look? Tasteless. In America, you've registered to vote, right? You have to go to a polling place. You can't go to 2 polling places. You can't go to 3. There's 1 polling place you're allowed to go to and vote. Do you understand this?
Yes.
Right. These are usually like in your zip code, right? These aren't like a mile away, 2 miles away. Like my grandparents' house, the polling place is practically next door. Okay? In a neighbor's garage. Okay? There's like maybe 1,000 people that vote there. Okay? I want to steal your vote, Tasteless. You and I are going to the same polling place. I have to find out when you're going to be there, because if I go to vote and I say, hey, I'm Tasteless, and they go, okay, here's your voting ballot, and I go in the voting booth, and you show up, not only when I'm there, hell, after I'm gone. If I vote any time before you, you go there, and they say, no, you already voted. What happens then? As a Trump voter, you go, oh, darn, I guess my vote done got stolen, and walk home? Or do you make a stink about it? And if there's millions of people who were disenfranchised that way, Do none of them speak up? Because nobody spoke up. Certainly not 3 million. Again, you'd have to disenfranchise more than the bottom 3 million people to account for this.
Maybe people register their pets.
You convinced me, man. You made like a really, persuasive case, and you convinced me. I might be wrong.
I'm not sure if he's trolling.
Wait a second. Tasteless, earlier before you said that the Democrats would focus on suppressing votes because that apparently helps the Democratic Party. And then you just posted something that showed that the Democratic National Committee and the Democratic Party itself is creating a committee that will fight voter suppression. So,
Squishy, I am saying this. The DNC committed fraud when they elected Hillary Clinton.
But they didn't elect Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton never got elected, Tasteless.
He's talking about the primary, I think.
Wait, why? How is it fraud to elect somebody who's in your party and not some dude who just switched to your party?
Because it wasn't the decision of the people.
Yeah, what do you mean? She got 3 million more votes in almost every, or in some of the largest election primaries.
Tasteless, once again, hold on, Tasteless.
Tasteless.
Hold on, Tasteless. Once again, you show you don't know at all what you're talking about. Nobody in the DNC, not even like Donna Brazil, is not Bernie Sanders. Nobody is claiming that people's votes weren't counted and they didn't come out for Hillary Clinton in the primary. Nobody's claiming that. That would be fraud. That's not what happened. That's not what nobody. I know hardcore Bernie supporters. Hell, I wanted Bernie to win. I voted for Bernie in the primary. But I know super hardcore socialist Bernie supporters, and none of them think that the votes were counted incorrectly. The votes were counted fraudulently in favor of Hillary Clinton. That's not that's not what anyone's claiming.
I see.
The worst of the accusations against Hillary Clinton in the primary is she might have gotten a debate question ahead of time. The DNC liked her better, and
Seth,
super
you're
delegates. Those are the three claims. I'm right about. I'm wrong about what?
About saying that the worst thing.
Wrong about what?
Saying that is the worst thing that she is being accused of. There are. I provided you with several links with several sites. Laying down what really happened. I have 2 or maybe 8 lines, and before
8 lines
in the
of
chat.
What else is she accused of?
Accused of committing fraud. So for you to say that she was the only thing that she is accused.
Hold on, stop.
Seth, I am rebutting.
Tasteless. I know, I'm interrupting. I know. But I'm just trying to get this information out of you. And if I let you talk, you'll never get me the information I'm looking for. So just relax for a second and just answer a couple questions. I'm not trying to get it. I'm just trying to get information out of you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She was accused of fraud. What kind of fraud and in relation to what?
Okay, Seth. I am saying the only thing I told you that you were wrong is that you said that the only thing that she was being accused of is, about the questions she received in CNN. And you're wrong about it.
Oh my God, you're an idiot. I was naming 3 things. That was the first on the list, Tasteless. What are the other 2 things that I said?
I don't know, man. You said that was the only
thing. Oh my God.
Because you're not listening.
How could I be wrong?
What?
You have no idea if I was wrong or not. No, Tasteless, stop. Tasteless. You have no idea. Jesus Christ. Tasteless.
Jesus.
I said the only thing she's being accused of is 1, and then I named one of the things that she was accused of during the primary.
That's wrong.
Of having an unfair advantage.
The only thing she's being accused of.
Yeah, and I named 1 thing, and then I moved on to 2 more things, and you weren't listening, so you didn't hear the other things.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. They are claiming that the election was hacked, and that's what happened. In fact, they
serious government national. Donna Brazil.
Let me make you say that. Hey, Seth. They actually. I mean, that was the big issue, right? That they discovered. And
no, that was not the big issue.
Hey, different agencies.
Square one.
Different agencies. was demonstrated that the Russians infiltrated the election in order for them to elect.
Which
Hillary
election
Clinton.
are you talking about? We were just talking
about
the
primary, dude, the primary.
Oh my God! Wait! Your argument is that there
was fraud committed.
Hold on. Hold on. Just a second. Let me get this straight. No, stop. You're telling me that U.S. intelligence agencies are saying that Russians hacked into the U.S. Democratic primaries to get Hillary.
Yes.
You're fucking an idiot. Oh my God.
That was the thing that was demonstrated, dude.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
It was all over the news. They were saying that Russia hacked the election. I mean, not the election, the presidential election, but the primary.
And Are you saying that? No. First off, you have to be a little bit more careful with your words because you're confusing everybody. Take a minute, try and understand what election you're talking about, who did they hack, and then get back to us with a complete sentence, please, because we have no fucking clue what you're trying to say here.
Okay,
so take a moment. Go. I have evidence, right? I'm trying to do your fucking accent here. All right, start the sentence with you, what you're trying to say, who it's about, what it is about, and then there you go. Right.
First of all, we're talking about the electoral system, right?
No.
We're talking about.
No. We're talking about the primary. Hold up a second. You said.
We're talking about.
Tell me if I'm right or wrong. Take a moment. Take a moment and tell me if I have your.
He doesn't know how to listen.
Thing. No, he doesn't know how to listen. Tell me if I have your I guess your thing right. Whatever you're trying to say here. You said that the Russian government hacked the DNC's primary elections, right? Is that what you're trying to say?
Said.
No, who's they?
They did.
Who is they? No. Who is they, Tasteless?
Squishy.
We're gonna take this one question at a time. One fucking question at a time, Tasteless.
Sure.
Stop talking.
Sure.
This is a yes or no answer. Who? Not even yes or no. Who? No, I don't even know. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm done. I'm muting him.
Probably not smart. Yeah.
I'm done. I can't even.
He really is an idiot.
He said
I really can't.
What agencies said exactly?
Now I gotta unmute him.
I was talking about intelligence agencies.
You guys love it.
Intelligence agencies.
What intelligence?
The reporting. They reported that.
I mean, this guy might actually be like really retarded.
Listen to me.
I feel bad.
There is. If you don't know. That there was a filtration.
Now you know.
In the.
You're making me crazy, Tasteless.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
dude. My mind.
Vastly uninformed on this subject. I'm going to provide.
Tasteless brushes his teeth with both hands.
I'm going to provide the links and let the links speak for me.
Oh, Tasteless.
This guy reads Breitbart, right? At like 3 words per hour, and he comes in here a year after the election happens, and gives us this conspiracy theory. It's ridiculous. He's an idiot.
Let me ask you something. Perhaps it might be wrong.
It's probably wrong.
Yeah, in the news.
I don't even need the rest of the statement.
It is wrong.
Perhaps this might be wrong. No, it is. It is wrong. We got you, man. That's it.
Yeah, I listened. I was, not paying attention.
Why should we listen?
Oh, I'm asking. Did you?
Why does about everything you said?
Your mouth noises. Why would we do that? Jesus, get out.
Noises.
Just leave, Tasteless. Get out of the fucking gene pool. Go away.
Take a long walk off a short pier, Tasteless, please.
You're just the dumbest person.
Tasteless, Tasteless, I gave you the benefit of the doubt. I typed those words into Google, got nothing.
He's a scrub.
Wait, put them in quotes. You got it.
Really?
Put them in
Intelligence
quotes.
Agency, Russia hacked primary. Nothing. It's all in reference to Trump not know what he's talking about Russia not hacking the general election.
Wait, Tasteless, just post it a timer. Election hackers altered voter rolls, stole private data. Wait. Let's see if you read the article. All right, let's go paragraph by paragraph. What does the first paragraph say, Tasteless?
This is about the general election, you fucking tool. Okay, hold on.
Wait. Give him a moment to read, Seth. Hold up. He's actually. I think he's reading. Are you reading it, Tasteless? Does he know how to read?
No, I've got a better Tasteless.
Yes.
Tasteless.
Yes.
Okay, let's say first of all, when does the United States hold their elections?
Where what?
The national elections, the United States. What month have they held?
I feel like there was a point in Tasteless' childhood where he just held his breath for long.
Do you know, Tasteless? Do you know when they're held?
Primaries.
It's all downhill.
I didn't say primaries. The general election. When is the general election held?
Well, it was held on September 8th, right?
Oh dear God.
November. I'm sorry.
November.
That's not ridiculous.
This conversation is ridiculous, dude.
So the year before, right, when the people are choosing their nominee, right? How many major parties are there in the United States?
69. There's 69. I'll give you the answer.
Two. Yes, there's two major parties. Are there any other parties?
Yo, stop giving the fucking answers.
Yeah, I mean, Seth, let's be honest, dude. I mean, what you're trying to do is not discredit everything I've said because you look like an asshole, dude. You look like an asshole in your own fucking country. And
no, I need you to understand this, Tasteless. No, Tasteless. I know you're super mad that you look like an idiot.
So I'm sorry, Seth, for making you look bad, motherfucker. So, in my opinion,
Tasteless. No, I know, Tasteless. I know. You're super mad you look like an idiot for a second, but it's necessary.
Tasteless, you posted another article about the general election and not the primary. I feel like
about the fucking election, dude. So get a hold of yourself and be respectful. The fact that you go endlessly talking about and asking questions ridiculous.
Tasteless, I'm still talking.
It's not going to prove anything.
Take a breath, Tasteless. Tasteless. I'm making a point. I guarantee you. I'm not just trying to make you look like an idiot, though I am enjoying it while we're doing it. Okay?
Hell yeah.
Here. Now, Tasteless. Before there's a general election, right? Usually like the year before, building up to the election, there's another election, right? And this election is to choose who all the parties really, are going to choose for their nomination for president, right? Who they're going to nominate, right? Those are called the primaries. Now, what happens first, the general election or the primaries?
What?
Oh boy.
What happens first? The primaries, right? And what are the primaries?
Primaries is the process of which candidate is chosen among the parties in order for that to represent the party for the general election.
Yes. Okay.
Oh,
so
what the fuck?
Now that we have that cleared up, are you saying the Russians hacked the primaries?
You're doing good, buddy.
I want to ask you one.
Is that
one
what you're saying,
Dude,
Tasteless?
now it's my time. Now it's my time for you to answer my question. Seth, I want you to see this link and tell me what does it say, please.
Like the name of the link? I'm confused now.
Hold on, I'm gonna fucking read this real fast because it's not that long of an article.
The hacking of state and local elections databases in 2016 was more extensive than previously reported, including the last one successful attempt to alter voter information and theft of thousands of voter records that contained private information like partial social security numbers and current and former officials tell time. In one case, investigators found there had been a manipulation of voter data in a county database, but the alterations were discovered and rectified. Two sources familiar with the matter tell Time investigators have not identified whether or not the hackers in that case were Russian agents. Not looking good for you, dude.
The news.
In fact, the private data was stolen from states, separately providing investigators a previously unsupported line of inquiry into probes into Russian attempts to influence the election. In Illinois, more than 90% of nearly 90,000 records stolen by Russian state actors contain driver's license numbers and a quarter contain. So, do you think that this is changing votes in the primary? Because that's not what this article's about.
I'm not saying that. Dude, what the fuck? I said, listen to me. Listen to my claim. You are the one saying that your system is highly protected and it cannot be messed with. And I'm telling you,
No,
dude,
that is not
there
my
has
position.
been cases where fraud has been proven, and in the case that I'm saying is that they concluded wrongfully that the hacking came from Russia, because the IP came from Russia, which is something that is not definitely
Dude, if all your position was that Russia stole voter information, hold on. If all your claim is that Russia stole voter information before the general election, well, yeah, could have told you that.
This nigga's retarded.
But that's not what you said. You implied that Hillary hired the Russians to change the primary results. That's absurd.
What I'm saying is that is one instance in which it shows how the system is vulnerable. I provided you with another link when there's like a huge study about the vulnerabilities of your system for you to acknowledge that fraud is possible, and it's not.
What are you saying? Hold on.
Not to change votes. Hold up. There's no fraud on how to change votes.
I am not saying that fraud. You are the one persuading it to a simple fucking statement.
Hold on. Let's tie this back to your ultimate claim.
Listen,
this whole argument about Russian hacking the election started with you saying that Hillary Clinton hacked the fucking primaries with the Russians.
I'm not saying that. I said that there was fraud committed. Fraud, and not only hacking, dude. There was fraud, and Hillary Clinton is being accused, and according to
Hillary Clinton's being accused of getting the Russians to hack the election.
I'm going to provide you with that link again, because you said that the only thing that she was being accused of is that she got some fucking questions and that during its answer, whatever. This Debbie chick.
Oh my God!
Is one girl that has been behind that movement, the Bernie movement, and she is the one condemning and showing evidence that there was fraud committed in the primaries.
What?
So,
shit.
No. Oh my God.
Oh my God, you're so
that's the information I have.
Where did you get that information?
If I'm wrong,
from your
Debbie.
YouTube videos?
Yeah.
This is why you shouldn't watch them, Tasteless.
I see.
It's making you look really dumb.
This is such a fundamental misunderstanding of how this works.
This is like providing you with information. I'm not.
This is like watching Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and thinking.
I am saying.
This is like watching Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and thinking that his sweater is the host. You don't know what
your sweater is the host.
The broader fraud is not possible to be committed. It is likely to be committed, and that's what I'm saying. You are the one defended that your fucking system is perfect and the voter fraud cannot be.
No one's claiming the system's perfect. All I claimed was stop.
Justin, look at that.
Tasteless. No one's claiming it's perfect. We're just all I made is
saying that it's not vulnerable to that degree.
Tasteless. Stop. Nobody said, in no point did I say that the system is perfect or it's not flawed in any way. Didn't say it, didn't
you acknowledge that voter fraud can be committed.
Shut the fuck up.
You do not accept that fraud can be committed to that degree, motherfucker.
Tasteless, shut the fuck up.
Answer the fucking question, dude.
Tasteless.
Objection.
Shut your stupid face. Tasteless, you're a retard. The only argument I made, the only thing that started this whole thing off is you said that that Donald Trump lost the popular vote because of the illegal votes. And I told you why that wouldn't work. Because that wouldn't work.
That is likely, that is probable, and that is something that can be done.
You already conceded that it wouldn't work.
You, motherfucker, don't have the proof to show me that is not impossible. All right?
No, I do.
Since you are not able to provide that is impossible, then you have to be open at least to the possibility that there's a chance that motherfucking happened.
Tasteless. You already conceded that the way you implied that the elections were fraudulent wouldn't work. You conceded it.
What?
Yes. Am I being gaslit here? Did anyone else hear him say, "Oh well, I totally understand the way you just explained it to me. That wouldn't work." I think you're right.
From the federal government
did that not happen?
To win the fucking election, they did.
Squishy.
Everything they had to do in order to get
elected.
I
think we should stop because
they did that by controlling
really
the fucking
news.
No.
So dumb.
But saying that
No, don't stop.
Have one shit.
Don't stop
they did that
Yeah, keep it going.
People asking people to beat Trump supporters, to peer pressure Trump supporters, to fucking control the fucking narrative in order for that to happen. So they did everything in their power
I guess
to get her elected, and that motherfucker is fraud. That is not a just system. It is not a fair election. So if she got 3 million more votes, it is more likely that she got them in a fraud.
You sound gayer when you're excited.
I know.
Yeah.
Hillary Clinton got 3 million more votes because 6 million more Trump supporters are pussies.
You know what? That's actually the case.
Are you gonna say a word? Oh, okay.
Like
Tasteless.
Bernie.
I mean, I already explained to you why
Bernie brothers voted for Trump, because that's what the Bernie or bust movement was.
Let it go,
it was
Tasteless.
Bernie or Trump movement. So that's why she lost, dude. It wasn't Russia, and it wasn't,
Tasteless.
Putin.
Great,
and it wasn't
I got it,
nobody
Tasteless.
else.
Fine, you're right, Tasteless. I have a question for you, Tasteless. No, you're totally right. You're right about everything, Tasteless.
Popular vote,
Tasteless,
it is fucking irrelevant. Totally irrelevant, and you're
You're right,
debating
Tasteless.
this one.
Yes,
and
I'm not debating. I think you're right.
It's totally irrelevant, but those 3 million votes are totally illegal. That's what I'm going to say here, guys. It's totally irrelevant, but those votes are illegal. I'm going to make it a point to say that those votes are illegal, even though it's completely fucking irrelevant.
No, Tasteless. Tasteless, you're totally
irrelevant, guys, but these votes are
getting
illegal.
into the fucking
It doesn't
mess.
matter to anybody, but it matters to me. Those votes are illegal, guys.
Prostrate myself.
They're illegal. It's completely irrelevant.
Tasteless. But I have a question. Tasteless.
Sustained.
Who's they? What do you mean they?
Sustained. Tell me, Seth, what is your question?
My question is, why didn't any of the Trump supporters report that their votes were stolen when they went to the polling place and tried to vote?
Are you 100% sure that they didn't do that?
Do you have evidence that they did?
Speculating. No.
Hold on, Tasteless. So if she won by 3 million votes in the popular vote, there would have been at least, at the very minimum, if the election was down 50-50, and every single person who attempted to
you know what? I have
voted.
your answer.
Hold on, stop. No,
I have your answer, motherfucker. And the answer is because Trump won, motherfucker. They don't need
to
do anything to fucking object a winning election for their candidate. That's why they didn't.
Hey, I'm going to finish my question if it kills you. I'm going to finish my question if it kills you, Tasteless. Now,
sure.
So at least 3 million Trump supporters would have been disenfranchised and intended to vote, registered and were intended to vote and didn't for this to happen. You're telling me that nobody reported their... Yes, I understand that. But I want an answer to my question. At least 3 million, but probably something more like 6 to 9 million Trump voters would have had been disenfranchised. Why weren't there? Let me finish my question.
He won.
I insist you let me finish my question.
No reason to fucking object.
I insist you let me finish my question, Tasteless. You have to be a good boy and shut your fucking pie hole.
It's not gonna happen.
Why weren't there at least 3 million Trump supporters who were disenfranchised report it?
What do you mean?
Oh my God. Did you forget how polling works in the United States? How polling places work?
Polls, dude. Your polls showed you that that the fucking polls are just political tools in order to push an average.
Places. No, again, you're looking like an idiot again. I said polling places. Tasteless. What's a polling place?
I'm sorry.
Tasteless. What is a polling place? No, nobody answer him. Tasteless. What is a polling place?
Where people go to cast their fucking vote. Is that good?
Right. So,
okay,
you go to a polling place. I took your vote. Do you report it?
Thank you. And how do I know you took my vote?
Do you report it?
But how do I know?
Yes, you do.
What do you mean, how do you know? You just went to the polling place and somebody... No, Tasteless. Tasteless, you asked me a question. Tasteless, you asked me a question. Tasteless, you asked me a question.
I'm going to answer your fucking question, dude.
No, you asked me a question. I'm going to answer it. You just asked me a question.
votes being stolen.
Tasteless. You just asked me a question. You said, how do I know my vote was disenfranchised? My answer is, they say it was. Because if I took your vote and you say, hey, my name is Tasteless, but somebody else went up and said, my name is Tasteless and voted for you, you're crossed off the fucking list. No more votes. Seth, I don't think you get one vote.
Yeah, I understand. But Seth, there was plenty reportings, plenty reports of people showing, votes being flipped in different, circumstances. Perhaps not at the.
Can you post your evidence and not be a YouTube video?
That why not? I mean, it's a video of the guy. Squishy. It is the video of the guy in the poll.
No.
The guy in the poll.
You cannot take video inside of a polling station.
That's evidence.
If you're talking about flipped votes, we're no longer talking about the type of voter fraud you're insisting on. And once again, the only point that I'm making is when you said that voter fraud was done en masse at least 3 million times by illegal immigrants going to polling places and stealing people's votes, that's something that just didn't happen in the 2017 election. 2016 election, and we know it because nobody fucking reported it. There would have been at least, at the very bare minimum, 3 million of those reports.
Oh, enjoy your argument.
It's insane to think that that's how Hillary Clinton won 3 million in the popular vote. It's insane. You have to be an idiot to think that's the case.
So I just got here. Could someone explain me the argument? Is that?
Oh Jesus, Big Chum is back.
Is it that Hillary Clinton lost the popular vote and it was misreported?
Yes.
No, that's not. Is that the argument now? Is that where we ended up?
That's what he's saying. Yeah.
Because we started.
I'm sorry.
Again, we started with Flynn being flipped, right? It's a big thing in the news today. Michael Flynn to plead guilty to making false statements to the FBI.
And of course, and there's confidants that say that he's going to testify against Donald Trump personally. He's going to say that Donald Trump told him to make connections with Russia.
Of course. That is going to happen.
Big Chum, did you vote for Trump?
No.
Oh, Bernie?
Yeah.
Sorry, I zoned out. What were you saying?
Yeah, ABC News' Brian Ross reports that Flynn is prepared to testify that President Trump directed him to make contact with the Russians.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I think this is the biggest news in the Russia investigation since Trump was elected.
Do you guys think that's going to have any impact on Trump?
Yeah, I mean, there was reports earlier that Trump was expecting the investigation to be wrapped up by the end of the year, and further reports said that he was going to, quote, blow a gasket if it wasn't. He was looking forward to...
Seth, in what way specifically is it going to have an effect on his presidency, though?
Yeah, I don't think it'll have any.
Oh, I think that I think it's going to become untenable during the votes in the 2018 representative votes, and I think that that the Republicans might actually just remove him from office or make a deal with him to leave office in an attempt to keep their seats in the House.
You think they'll go through with an impeachment process?
No, I think they might talk him into. I think they're going to try one way or the other to remove him from office. They'll do it quietly at first, I think. But I think if they have to save face and to not lose the House, I think that they might impeach
him. I don't know.
Discuss this with somebody else.
It is so difficult to impeach a president, though.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
When they impeached Clinton, didn't they let Clinton stay in office after they impeached him?
Well, impeachment doesn't necessarily, as far as I understand, removal from office doesn't necessarily follow from impeachment, right?
Yeah.
True.
So, I just don't think that this touches Trump. It might infuriate him. It might make legislation more difficult. But if the tax bill passes, the guy's done most of the damage that we thought he would do, right? I mean, barring his position as commander in chief in the situation with North Korea, which I don't think is going to pan out, the damage is already done. I just don't see how it touches him.
I'm not saying that damage hasn't been done, but I don't see how you can say that. I mean, at some point, his approval rating is shit, and the Republicans' approval rating because of Trump is shit. I just think that once it's put up or shut up time when when they're looking at polls and they're looking at getting primaried in the House, I just think that they're gonna realize that they have to do something about the Trump problem. Trump's going to be a huge albatross on their neck come 2018.
Yeah, I agree, and I hope you're right with your other assessments about the impeachment, but I just don't see it happening.
And I think Mueller. I mean, if you look at the moves that Mueller is making, I think that he's moving boldly towards Trump. He's not reaching downward. He's not punching down. He's been punching up. He's been moving his way up. He's been getting the big fish, and he's been getting them to flip. I think Mueller is a competent FBI agent, and I think I think he knows what's going on, and I think he's going after the big fish. I think he's really after Trump. I mean, you just look at the moves he's making.
I just think Mueller is doing, blackmailing, getting dirt on the people surrounding Trump, and exchanging the favors. They are not going to touch them unless they testify against Trump. So basically, they're doing,
So you're saying they're already dirty, right? He's using their dirt against them to lie?
Yeah, that's not blackmail, by the way. So when an agent of the law, when an agent of the law says, "Hey, you did this, but we're gonna not give you as bad of a punishment if you flip on your bosses," it's not blackmail.
What's it called?
It's called. It is blackmail, but it's legal blackmail.
Yeah, it's extortion in a sense. It's not blackmail. Isn't it blackmail by definition illegal?
No, I mean the state can do any. I mean, murder is by definition illegal unless it's the state doing the murdering. It's blackmail.
Plea bargain.